Boy, Ameer. What up, man?
What's good, bro? What's good, man?
And blessed. Can't complain. How you doing?
Hey, man, you looking blessed over there, man. Looking blessed, man. I think first and foremost, man, let me start off by saying that I'm proud of you, bro. I remember back in the summer when I came in there to talk to the team and obviously host my camp. You really leaned on me during that time before we even met in person. You reached out to me via Instagram, just kind of leaning on me for some knowledge, for some advice. You know, to me that was special because, you know, as I get older, I become one of those older jaded guys that says like the younger generation, they don't like to listen, they don't like to this to that. But you definitely are an outlier, not only in your personality and how you show up every day, but you're definitely an outlier on that field. And you stand out in these every single time you touch the ball, man. I couldn't be more proud to look back at the University of Nebraska that has such a story, history of great running backs, and to definitely add your name to that bunch for sure, man. So I'm proud of you, bro. Finish strong for sure.
Nah, I appreciate that, Ameer, man. It means a lot. You know, ever since we connected, man, I had a lot of respect for you and your game. You know, I was a kid here a couple of years ago, and, you know, sending that text was risky. I know a lot of kids wouldn't do it, but me sending that text is just out of respect, you know, for your game and what you've done here at Nebraska. So, like, it meant a lot that you took the time to not just text me back, but actually, you know, get a real relationship with me. So, you know, man, we locked in, but it's just been a blessing to have you in my corner and have you be somebody I can go to about anything. If I need advice on anything, I can go to you. So it means a lot have you in my corner, man. I'm really blessed to have you in my life, for sure.
Love, man.
Yeah.
I got one question. For
Yes,
me, when I used to go out there and play in Memorial Stadium, I used to always keep one thing on my mind, which was one play at a time. And one thing about you this year, more so than last year, of course, the opportunities are more plentiful this year than last year, so people get to see you in the full healthy dosage. But what's your mindset on every play? Because I feel like as a running back, outside of intangibles, outside of speed, agility, elusiveness, I think the one thing that sticks out the most is mindset, man. Like, what is your mindset every single play? And I think it's important for a lot of young kids who are watching this, who are going to be watching this, to kind of like start building their mindset, because like that is the precursor to anything, to being a successful running back.
Man, I would just say dominance is on my mind, but just remembering my why. Remembering why I played a game of football, and that's just to honor God. And from my family back home, man, my parents, you know, grew up with nothing, coming from Monrovia, Liberia. So every single time I'm out there on the field and I look up in the stands and I see my parents, my brother, my sister out there, it just motivates me to attack every single play. And just, you know, this game of football is a blessing, and I don't want to take anything for granted. I know what it feels like to not have the opportunity to play at all. So when I do have the opportunity, I'm going to make the most out of it. And so every single time I'm on the field, trying to dominate, you know, whoever's in front of me, whether if that's catching the ball, or whether that's running the ball, or whether if that's blocking for my teammates. But just remembering my why, my burn, that keeps me going every single day. And that's something that, you know, a lot of those younger kids out there need to take into account, is just understanding why you play the game of football. You know, when you're a kid, you play it, you love it, you're having fun with it, but just to take it into a deeper meaning, understanding what it takes to be great at this game and what keeps you going. And so that's my family, and to honor God. And so I know you guys see I have the cross on my wrist during the game. I'm constantly thanking God all the time, just because, you know, without him, I wouldn't be in this position. That's somebody I give all credit to, is God, and just got to keep going with it.
Man, that's excellent, bro. That's excellent. I really feel like the why is always felt in the back. You got guys to do it a lot of different ways, man. I think the top backs in this year's like college football landscape are definitely you, Jeremiah Love, a couple other guys, Justice Hayes. I think each one of you guys, when I watch you guys demonstrate a different why. I guess my next question would be, what do you think speaks the loudest about your game to Husker Nation? Like when people watch you, when the kids watching you, what do you think they're saying? For me right now, you know, you've been building a lot of buzz, man. I think you definitely should be in Heisman consideration. I'm in the locker room with the coach all the time. They're like, man, that 21 and Nebraska, he's like that. He's like that. I was like, what sticks out to me is your anticipatory running style. You know, you see it before it actually happens. And we talk about that a lot in our own one-on-one conversations. But for Husker Nation, what do you think they are raving about when they watch Emmett Johnson run the football?
Yeah, man. I would just say just how hard I run and how explosive I am with every opportunity that I get. When I'm out there, man, I love winning more than anything. So when I'm running the ball, I'm trying to take over. Like I'm trying to take over the game, and I feel like that shows in my game. I don't have to really say much, and every time I get the ball, I'm out there caring for my teammates by how I play for one another. And so that's something I want Husker Nation to remember. Just how hard I go on every snap. And it all starts during the week in practice. What you do behind closed doors when nobody's looking, that's what shows on Saturdays, and that's just true to my work and just trusting my training that I do during the week. But yeah, when I'm out there, I'm trying to go crazy, man. I'm trying to take over the game.
Me and you, we have a very similar path. We have a very similar path, man. I think we're under-recruited, for sure, definitely under-recruited guys, consider undersized guys who play a lot bigger than what their size are, one-cut guys who can kind of Houdini, get out of some situations that you didn't think we can get out of. I'm shocked sometimes when I see you play, man, just because every single week you seem to raise the bar and get that much better and that much better. And I think any team that's playing you in the future or any team that is going to have you in the future is definitely going to be very, very fortunate to have someone that is so hungry and so intentional about improving and continually to raise that bar for himself. Because, being with you this past summer, one thing that you were adamant about was how hungry you were to prove that you weren't just a guy. You weren't just a guy who was at this university getting his degree. You're a guy who was willing to make a mark here. And to have that kind of restored at the Nebraska faithful, to me, is it's an honor. I get proud. I really do get proud, man. So
I got a question for you, if you don't mind, too. I know you're asking me about my why, but like, what's something that keeps you going every single day? Like when you were here, ever since you were a kid, even now. I mean, you in year 11 in the NFL. Like, that's kind of crazy. Like I think you told me before, you're the only running back in that draft class, still be playing. So what keeps you going? What keeps you motivated?
Man, it's shifted. It's shifted a lot. I would say like 3 years ago when I was in year 8, which is really was my goal. I really wanted to play 8 years in the league. What kept me going was trying to outdo what I did last year. It was more so of like a milestone statistical thing. But now, my goal is more so centered in how many people can I affect with my not only my play style, but just my personality and my access. I'm OG now. I'm OG in the league where a lot of guys, when they're talking to me and when they're coming to me, they genuinely want to know, like, Ameer, how are you still running 21 miles an hour and you're 32 years old? You know what I'm saying, Ameer? How are you able to pass protect and see things the way I see? I've always been a very cerebral guy. So what keeps me going now is kind of this duty I feel like I have, and which is why you have kind of given me a second life with, you kind of been, I'm not going to say necessarily my understudy because all this was you. You did all this. I didn't do none of this. You know what I'm saying? But you've been humble enough to at least reach out to me has given me a second life and more breath because it's allowed me to realize my purpose in this game reaches much more than just being the player, but being a voice, being a leader, being a architect of the future. That gets me up every single day to know that people honor my process. With the coach right now, I have my little routine in the morning, and we call it the Breakfast Club now, that people are joining me because they're like, yo, Ameer does this same routine every morning, and he's played 11 years, 11 successful years. So I want to play that long, so I'm just going to follow what he does. And for me, that keeps me youthful, and that keeps me with a lot of zeal and aspiration.
I love all that, man. You've kind of given me that aspect of my game too, but when it comes to recovery, that's something I notice about you. What taught you how to, take care of your body the way that you do? Because I know you're crazy about, taking care of your body. Tell people just how important it is, that aspect is of the game. I remember when you were here, you were taking me through just a couple of your recovery workouts. It had me sweating crazy. So
that's the funny thing, man, because recovery, when you just say it loosely, to the person who's not in our spaces, they'll think like, oh, these guys are just getting massages and doing our stuff. It's like,
and just go play.
No, recovery is actually exercising the fascia, which your fascia line is the interconnected webbing or tissue line that like wraps around your muscles that actually makes you pliable as a person. But not to get too heady into that. I try to service the body like I would service a car. You always start with the tires, right? You always start with your tires. Like your feet are your tires. And I, unfortunately, early in my career, I had a foot injury that actually set me back. And that's what really got me more conscious and focused on taking care of the little things as much as I could. You never know when something's going to be taken away from you in terms of opportunity, explosiveness, whatever, because your feet are your foundation. So for me, my mindset is like, all right, the first thing I always like to do throughout the weeks is I get my feet rubbed on. I go to the mall. I go to like one of those little Thai massage places that charge like $1 a minute. And bro, I go crazy. I do that like twice a week, bro. I get my massages. I get a lot of joint mobs on my ankles, my knees, my hips. I get my hips adjusted all the time. Just making sure I'm fine tuning the little things just so when I am trying to cut back on a guy, those shock absorbers like a car, like the axles on a car aren't squeaky where you can efficiently do it, even if you're not in the most like proficient angle. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how football is sometimes. Sometimes you got to cut. You might not be under your center of gravity, and it's like that's to make a break of a non-contact injury or being able to survive that rep. I try to do a lot of maintenance stuff on the daily, from joint mobs to soft tissue stuff like that. I do a lot of dry needling. I become a really big dry needling guy. And over the last couple of years, I'm really big on like hyperbaric chambers, which is something that I definitely would encourage you to do, just from like head trauma, from inflammation standpoint, bone regrowth and raw stimulation and stuff like that. The hyperbaric chamber has a lot of good science and data behind it. But really, after I hurt my foot, when I first got in the league, I played with Calvin Johnson. We played in an era where like the targeting penalty was not called as much, bro. Like Calvin he would run like a deep over and get absolutely smoked by a safety. You know what I'm saying? And he would just get up. But like the way he took care of his body was something that I looked up to, because I'm like, man, this dude's playing at the highest level. He's getting 15 to 20 catches a game in the league. You know what I mean? And getting hit. So like he was a guy who was always taking care of his body. So I just kind of was a fly on the wall, and I watched guys who did at a high level.
Nah, for sure. Nah, I appreciate that, man. And thanks for you taking the time out of your day, man. I know you be busy out there too, doing all your little nature videos and everything like that. But
hey, man, I'm on bye week right now, man. I'm in the sun. I'm on my parents' front porch back in Alabama, just enjoying the nice fall time in Alabama. I don't know what it is, man, but the bigger you get, the more calls I get. So hey, man, keep blowing up, man.
Nah, I got you.
You got my line buzzing. Everybody want to know what I think. I'm
man.
Like, look, I said what I said back in the summer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, look, this ain't nothing surprising to me. Like, of course, sure. I'm proud as hell, but like at the same time, I'm like, duh. Emmett Johnson is that guy. He's that guy, man. He's going to continue to be that guy, man. And
I appreciate
good luck to you for the rest of the season, bro.
Yes, sir. Good luck with your season, too, man. Congrats on the success.
I appreciate you.
All right, Ameer.
I like you.
Yep.
Yeah.